It's time for another budget smartphone unboxing, and today I'm looking at the Ulefone Note 20 Pro, and this could be the one for you. So this Ulefone Note 20 Pro is currently available at the time of this video on Black Friday for less than 90 quid. And it's a chunky box, so one would assume it comes with a charger in said box. And I've got the phone in ribbon white, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. So it's a pretty basic spec phone. So lifting the lid, on top you get your sachet with your paperwork, SIM tool and a clear case, which is nice. Let's bungle that aside and have a look at the case first. Just a bog standard clear plastic case, but it's nice that comes in the box. And then underneath that you've got the Ulefone Note 20 Pro, and then below that you've got your charging brick, which supports 18-watt charging, and then a nice red charging cable, which is pretty cool. Let's just bung that to the side. And here is the Ulefone Note 20 Pro. Now there's a few specs on the front. 6.75 inch HT Plus display, so it's only 720p. Unisoc T606 processor, very entry level. 128 gigs of storage, 50 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel front camera, a whopping 6,000 mAh battery, face unlock and fingerprint unlock in that power button, and then unsurprisingly powered by Android. So here is the Ulefone Note 20 Pro. Of course, it's not one of the more well-known brands. I'm not even going to attempt to get that off right now. Not one of the most well-known brands, but they are becoming increasingly available on Amazon. Let's just power on. There is a pre-applied screen protector. Now I have used a few of these lesser known brand smartphones in the past without much of an issue. One of the main things that you do find with these is, and what a lot of people have reservations is the software updates, the software support. Very often they only come with maybe one major software update, which obviously isn't great for people that are looking at keeping a phone for 2, 3, 4 years and want the most up-to-date software. But I'm just going to quickly punch my information in and then I'll come back when it's all set up and good to go. Okay, so here is the Ulefone Note 20 Pro all set up and ready to go, and this is what it looks like out of the box. And to be fair, I'm quite impressed. It's next to no bloatware. There's a themes app down there, sound recorder, service center. But apart from that, game space, it is a pretty stock Android experience. There's not even Facebook or anything loaded on there. You've got your YouTube app, Gmail, and that's about it. So yeah, nice and clean, which is not always found at this sort of budget price. Quite often they'll have preloaded games and that sort of stuff. But yeah, overall, pretty good. So if we just jump into the settings really quickly, and you've just got your usual options that you'll find on basically every other smartphone that you can pick up. You know, your Wi-Fi, mobile network settings, Bluetooth, display and wallpaper personalization. So we'll just jump into that, jump into the wallpapers there. No, sorry, there. And then change wallpaper. And you've got a few options here. And then you can just set a new wallpaper and lock screen, just like that, nice and easy. And it still looks quite nice. The screen is a large 6.75 inch display, thick-ish bezels around the edges, and then of course you've got a chunkier bezel on the bottom there, which is to be expected, and then just a dewdrop notch at the top, which is the 8 megapixel selfie camera. So jumping back into the settings quickly, you can go back and set the phone to how you want it to look even more so with themes, etc. And you can also go into there and change your icons, the shape of your icons, the size of the text, the size of the icon itself. So there's plenty of just little tweaks that you can do on here, and you can change the system colors, and you can change the color of the clock, the size of the clock, just to really tweak to how you want your phone to look. And then you've got display options here. You've got adaptive brightness setting, which I won't have on for the time being, sunlight mode, lock screen information to have all your notifications shown, or show sensitive content only when unlocked, etc. All the usual bits and bobs. And then you can switch on dark mode to save reflections. I'm going to keep it off for the moment. Display size and text, etc. Screen refresh rate is 90 Hz. You can have it set to auto out of the box, or you can switch it to 90 all the time, or save a bit of power by selecting 60 Hz. But with a 6,000 mAh battery, I can't see it being an issue at all. And then you can choose to display your network speed. I don't currently have a SIM card in there, so I can't test that straight away. And then you can hide the notch if you want to as well, but I quite like it there. So, and then special features, side application bar, which I guess you just swipe and pause from the top edge of the screen to open the sidebar. There we go. Probably should have read that before I even attempted it. And then of course you can change that to have the apps that you want to display on there if you want to. I'll turn that off again for a minute. And by the looks of it, Ulefone have no shame, as they are quite happy to completely mimic Apple's Dynamic Island by even calling it Dynamic Island rather than Honor calling it Magic Capsule or something like that. And they even say show iPhone style cool heads up. So they've got no shame in terms of copying other manufacturers. Lift to check phone, so raise to wake, we'll turn that on. 3-point screenshot, no, we'll leave that. Listen, lift to ear to answer calls, no, we'll leave that. And apart from that, it's all very, very similar. Smart touch. Oh no, that's just that thing now, I don't like that. And then you've got a few other options there as well, but I'm not going to worry about that. Now, if I go into About Phone, it gives you more information on the phone itself. Note 20 Pro, Unisoc T606, 4 gigs of RAM with an extra 4 gigs available from the system storage, 50 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel front, 6,000 mAh battery, and then a 720p display. And we're running Android 14, which is nice as well. And then if we just go to system, check for updates, and we are good to go. So overall, it's a nice clean phone, no bloatware or anything like that. I will just jump into the camera and I will take a nasty selfie from the 8 megapixel selfie camera. And there is a portrait mode as well, so we'll give that a go. Not gonna lie, looks pretty horrendous. Detail isn't too bad, but it's very grey. There's not a lot of colour to it. And there's the watermark down there, which I'm sure you can turn off. So then if we just flip to the main camera, and I will grab OnePlus 11. And again, not bad detail, to be fair. Looks pretty sharp. Obviously, it's not the best lighting conditions in my room, and I will take the phone out and about to take a load more photos as well. You've got a HDR mode, which you can turn on and off, filters, beauty mode, which I will certainly turn off, and then a few other options in there. Picture quality super fine, watermark, we can turn that off. AI scene detection, so we can turn that on to help optimize your shots. So yeah, not too bad. To be fair, overall, so far as my first impressions, I don't think this phone is looking too bad at all. If you can get past the 720p display and the understandably basic camera system, this is an absolutely fine phone to use so far. I've used a couple of other devices with the T606 and they've been absolutely fine for my use. Obviously it's a very iPhone looking camera system, the main camera being there, and those two are just going to be depth camera and macro camera. If there is a macro mode, let's have a look. There is. So yes, a depth camera and a macro camera on the back as well. So a very basic smartphone, but currently available for about 80 quid off Amazon, and you get this really nice sort of satin white color, which is really quite nice when it catches the light. And then we'll just chuck the case on just to give it that little bit of protection. God, look at those fingerprints. Not going to say that this is going to give you the best protection in terms of overall coverage on the corners, etc. It's not a proper shot-proof bumper case. It's just a bog standard one out of the box, but it'll do for the time being, as other third-party cases for this phone are probably going to be pretty few and far between. So it is nice that they give you one in the box. But let me know what you think of the Ulefone Note 20 Pro. I have got a Note 19 on the way as well, which comes in even cheaper, currently at about 60 quid on Amazon. So look out for that video and subscribe for more unboxings and that particular video coming soon. And I'll see you in the next video.